Howdy folks, welcome to another Bad 66 Chevelle video. I believe this is part 7 of how to rebuild the Turbo 350 the easy way. And on this video we're going to go ahead and remove our valve body. I went ahead and loosened all our bolts up here. These are all a 1/2 inch. They're all 1/2 inch. So I went ahead and got them all loosened up. I believe we have about 17 of these bolts. Now, you got your kick down cable here. You don't have to take this off. You can actually remove this with the valve body as a whole piece. Now, you want to keep in mind your parking pole. That's right here. So you want to keep in mind with that. So, and one thing I would do too, that I would recommend to make this job as easy as possible, is do what I did. This is what I did, because this makes it a lot easier. There's our accumulator here removed. And I apologize for the videos not being that great. I'm trying to be a little better. It's just a little difficult in our previous video to remove that snap ring. But anyway, to help a lot of people out, I would do what I would do. Take everything and put it in a bag, a Ziploc bag like this. That makes it so much easier. See, I got it labeled Turbo 350 governor, cover, and clip. See, we got our governor, there's our cover, and there's our clip. So that way it keeps everything nice and organized here. See, there's our governor cover. That's all our governor cover stuff. I'm going to do the same thing with our accumulator here. I'm going to get a bag and label it and put all that together. Same way with our valve body bolts. And if any of them are longer, we're going to take pictures of them and make sure that if any of these are longer, they go back in the same spot. That's really important. And another thing too is when you're taking these out and loosen these up, you don't want to use the impact or anything like that. So something like this, don't ever use something like this on there. That's the worst thing to use. Because what happens is you're using an impact, it's got so much torque that can actually ruin your threads in your case. Always do everything by hand. Always do everything by hand, even putting it back together. Never ever use something like that. That's a good way to strip out your threads and ruin your case. But to get back to this, like I said, just keep everything labeled. There's our transmission bolts here. See, and I even put the number of how many are in there. We have 13. And I put a side note there. It's a little hard to read, but it says order 2 more. Because we're missing 2. That was one of the things. That's one of them things when I got this Turbo 350 for free, it was missing a couple things. So we'll have to order 2 more bolts there, which that's no big deal. We'll have to get our new transmission mount, which that's not a big deal. I see somebody, I'm pretty sure somebody's been in here. And I know this mount's been replaced because it says made in Korea here. I know that's not original. But something tells me somebody's been in this valve body before, because this separator plate right here, to me it looks like it's been apart. Maybe it's just me. Like I said, you know, just take everything and label it. So there's our front pulp bolts. You know, I got everything labeled like that. That way it keeps it nice and organized. And just putting the number you're supposed to have. See, 13, I'll order 2 more. There's our side note. That just makes it so much easier. It keeps it a lot more organized. That way stuff doesn't get lost. And especially putting the number that you're supposed to have. Man, it just makes it a whole lot easier. Now we got our pump off here. We'll disassemble that in another video here shortly. And once we pulled our gasket off too, so our gasket and everything, you want to make sure everything comes off clean here. And I'll show y'all a trick too on taking and pulling all our wave plate and steels and clutches and all out. We're going to do a little trick to that. Do that the easy way. That way it keeps everything organized. You know, of course we have our book. Our book tells us to. But I'm trying to show as much detail as I can. So we're going to go ahead and remove our valve body here. I believe we have 17 bolts. Let's check here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, see, I was wrong. We got 18 bolts there. So basically what you want to do, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the whole thing off and leave the bolts in it. Because I want to make sure, I don't know if they're all the same length or not. Well, let's see here. So these two look the same. There we go. They look the same length. But I'm going to take everything and leave it all in place until I get a bag and we'll label everything. Because I do not want to sit there and take a long bolt like this here and put it in the case like that where a short bolt's supposed to be. It'll strip out the threads. I'm trying to keep everything organized here. You know, that's the best way to do it. Now, as soon as you pull this off, there's another gasket you got to pull off as well, and underneath that, that's where you got to be careful. You got your check balls. So let's remove our valve body here. I have everything ready. We're going to take this whole valve body off as one. So let's go ahead and lift that on up here. Sit y'all down just for a second. I really need a tripod. Let's see here. Maybe I can sit y'all up here so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing here. Alright, so here's our valve body. Hopefully y'all can see that. We're going to lift this on up here. Now at the same time, I forgot to mention here, you want to take this valve body here. So I didn't get all the bolts loose completely. Okay, there's our valve body here. We're going to set that right here. Now, this right here is our gasket for our valve body. Okay, the next thing you want to do is we're going to have to take this separator plate off. So let's take this off real quick. Thought I'd loosen some of those up. Let's put our camera back up here. Hopefully y'all can kind of see what I'm doing. Trying to make these a better video here. That one. And on the separator plate right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts. And they're all 1/2 inch. This is when it makes it nice to have a speed wrench. Makes it a lot easier. But again, like I said, I take everything apart by hand like that because I do not want to strip out anything. Now all these bolts are the same length for your separator plate. Okay. This transmission's really not that bad to tear apart. Oh, I'll drop a bolt there. That's okay. This transmission's not that bad to tear apart. It's really not. Okay. Okay, here's our separator plate, so we're going to remove that. So just pick that on up there. Only goes one way, just like this. So this comes off. Now you want to pull the second plate off. Okay. It goes just like this. See, it lines up with the holes. Alright, and here's our next plate here. Okay. We got 3 plates there. We'll put them all back in order. So this one, just in that order. That's how they go back on, just like that. Okay, now we got our gasket here. We'll go on and pull this one off. We're not at our check balls yet. So there's our gasket. We need to take a detail of this, because in our kit we got to know which gasket to put back on there. So if y'all want to pause the video or anything, that's how this goes on here. Y'all might have a different style. But there's our gasket. Okay. Alright. Set that on down here. Now, here's our separator plate. There's another gasket under here. It's actually wanting to come off with this one. Okay, there's a separator plate. Now let's flip this over here. I want to get this off in order. Okay, this comes off next. Alright, so we'll set that on down here. Now this is where you want to be careful. Now you got this. This is our gasket. Our final one. You want to be careful now, because this is where our check balls are. Because once you pull this off, our check balls are underneath of it. So just take a note. This is what goes next. Alright. We'll set that down here. Now you want to be careful, because this is where our check balls are. Alright. Now I'm actually looking. Oh, yep, there's one right here. I see it right here. Okay. There's one check ball. Now this transmission may have had a shift kit. You know, I can't tell for sure. There's one check ball, I know. There's our first one. Now, because I know there's another one around here somewhere. See, one way you can tell, almost feels like a rubber one. See how this is made? See, it keeps the check ball from moving this way or this way. This basically, it shuts off the pressure. I think it's one right here. Maybe not. I could have sworn it was one right here. Alright, well, let's look at our book. I can't remember. I know it's 4 of them in here. Now again, I'm not perfect. I don't know, everything. I'm not perfect, but this is why we got our book. You know, we can look up our check balls. Let's go to our check balls here. So this is a nice detailed book too. I love this book. Okay, let's see. We're getting close here. Check balls. Okay, here we go. We're getting close. Check balls right here. I believe it is the next stage. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's bring this on over here. Yeah, I think this transmission's got a shift kit or something in it, because not all our check balls are there. Either that, or whoever rebuilt it didn't put them all back in and didn't do it right. Okay, so let's compare this. Okay, there's our picture. Okay, it says it's one check ball right in here. Okay, we don't have one. Okay, there's our next check ball up here. Let's look. It's missing one there too. There's supposed to be one right in there. Let's see, we can make this a little detailed, a little bit better here. Alright. Book says it's one right here. We're looking right there. Okay, we don't have one. So let's go to our next one right here. That's on down a little further right in there, which is right here. Okay, we don't have one either. Okay, there's two. There's three. Yep, okay, we got that one. Y'all can see that. We have that one. And then I think the next one is right in here. Yep. I can't tell. I don't think we have one there either. Huh. Doesn't look like it. I don't feel it. But anyway, our next one is right here. So let's go up and look for that. And here's this. Yep. I don't think we got one right here. Okay, so there's one right here. Then there's one right here. See, that's what they don't show you either. They need to actually show. So we got one here, one here, one here, one here. So to help y'all, there's one there, one there, one right here, and then our final one is right here. Okay, we're missing three. So we might have a shift kit. And we got a filter right here as well. And there's another one, I believe. Yeah, right in here. We have a filter right there if y'all could see that. There's our filter. There's another filter right here. I think they come with the kit. Some kits they don't. The accumulator right here. This just pulls directly on out. Okay. See, there's our spring that goes on top like that. Then you got the retainer that goes on top. And you want to check these rings. Now it's kind of like, think of it as like a bore and a cylinder wall, like in a piston. These actually do wear. You want to check and make sure it's no scoring or anything like that. Now ours looks pretty good. So you want to line this up.